Hello everyone, he's Ben.
She's Claire.
And we are your dental besties.
Making dentistry fun.
And I'm going to have some fun with you now because I'm going to play another game with you. You would get bullied by me.
Yeah, but I do love the games.
I love the games. I do feel like I bully you a little bit. You don't feel bullied though, do you?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, good. You might feel a little bit bullied today because I'm basically...
Yeah, I'm trying not to look.
Don't look. I've turned them all around so you can't see. Plus, we don't want to, product placement. So I'm going to do the mouthwash challenge with you today.
Okay.
Obviously, you know what this entails. I don't want you to see which one we're using, and I want you to guess what it is.
Cute little mask. Okay, right. We're straight into it, really, aren't we? Usually, I get chatted up a little bit before the blindfold goes on.
Oh, no chatting up today.
No, you are like straight in there.
Straight in, blindfolded up. Okay, let me get these sorted.
Down.
So this is another YouTubey one. So anyone listening on the podcast, YouTube is the way to go if you want to see what I'm doing here. So it's really difficult when you try to work around microphones. Okay. I'm pouring number 1 and you put your hand out for me. You can't see. There we go. So
Jesus, how much have you put in?
You're going to put it in your mouth and then spit it back. You have to swill it around. Obviously, you know how to use mouthwash.
Oh, just thinking, you put a blindfold on, now you're going to put it in your mouth.
Dentistry and innuendos. We've had this conversation in episode 1 of series 2. What does this one smell like?
Am I giving it like markings?
Yeah,
or?
so mark it and sort of tell me, do you think you know the brand?
Tastes a bit weird.
It smells very minty.
I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's very strong. I feel like the punches come in late.
You're going to be like...
It tastes odd.
Yeah?
Yeah, like not nice odd.
Okay. So if you want to just lift up the face mask a little bit, I'll tell you what this one is. So I went to Home Bargains to get all these mouthwashes.
Wow.
I'm not a massive mouthwash fan, so I didn't have any at home to bring. But this one is meant to, you know how the whole like purple toothpaste thing where it like it's meant to whiten your teeth?
Yeah.
This one kind of is going to ride off that one, I think. So it says it's purple and it whitens and brightens your smile. But if you just show me. It's not like, this is so gimmicky.
What, in one rinse it's saying that it's going to whiten my smile?
Purple brightening formula. They're riding off the whole like purple toothpaste wave.
No. It tastes like it's got a really weird aftertaste.
It says it helps prevent stains. You're going to be annihilated, aren't you? Your mouth's going to feel horrendous.
Goodbye, microbiome.
Your microbiome is going to be shocked. Because that's one of the things, isn't it, with mouthwash? We don't actually want to completely eradicate the microbiome, which is why I don't personally tell people to use Corsadil. Okay, hand out.
Sniff test. Oh, God, I think I know what this is. I'm going to kill you if it's this. It's Corsadil, isn't it? Yeah. It's absolutely disgusting.
That's the daily one.
Ugh.
It's disgusting, isn't it? So I would only really recommend this. Nil pois. I'd only really recommend that if someone had had surgery or something for a couple of days. It's not something long term, but it kind of markets itself as something you should be using every day, and
I can see the appeal of Corsadil. Like if you're bobbing, and you see a mouthwash that says, "Oh, well, it'll take away the bleed," and you're like, "Oh, well, I'll just use that."
Yeah, I think a lot of people get duped by that.
But in the States, it's prescription only.
In the States, is it?
Mm-hmm. You can't buy chlorhexidine over the counter.
I did not know that. Okay.
Oh, God.
But the staining so you get a patient, they've seen that advert or they've seen it on the shelf. They're like, oh my God, I've got bleeding gums, I'm going to use this. And then next thing you know, they come in and see it and the staining.
Yeah, the gums look better, but the teeth are black.
Your teeth are black. Next.
Microphone.
Face mask.
Face mask.
Oh, hang on a second. For people watching. What is going on? Oh my God, the noises that must be coming from this for people listening on the podcast is a bit nuts. Okay.
It's like ASMR with the microphone.
Oh my God,
why do you keep calling this a microphone with the blindfold on?
Stick your hand out. Are you ready? Okay.
Right, I'm doing this sniff test. Smell this before it goes in my mouth.
Well, it looks pretty.
That smells like the dentist.
That does smell like
I think I know what this is.
That smells like dentist.
I think I know what this is. Mm-hmm. Because it smells clovey.
That definitely smells like dentist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that noise. Do you know what this reminds me of? Do you remember in like episode 2 where you said the patient was like, someone had was written in and said the patient was spitting back into the mouthwash bottle and they had basically a whole mouthwash bottle full of spit?
Don't tell me that. It's dental pH.
It's, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? I quite like it. It's the clovey taste.
Was it? Have a look inside. It's meant to lift off the plaque. So you remember how you used to spit in the sink and you'd see like...
I don't have any plaque.
Oh, that's why it's not in there.
Oh, I just see lots of frothy spit.
Maybe that's not what you should do after you've just had crisps. It's a bit gimmicky though. I think when people spit into the sink and they see the bits and they think that it's lifting that plaque off, and it's not. I mean, if it was as easy as that, we'd be out of the job. It's just obviously all the little bits that have been...
It tastes quite nice. It tastes very clovey.
Yeah.
Like Christmas.
So not necessarily like... I don't know.
Blindfold on. It's still minty. It tastes very like medical, but it's not.
I can't wait for you to try this one.
Oh,
I'm so excited about this one.
It better not. Oh God, is it Peroxyl?
No. Oh, actually, I didn't bring Peroxyl. Just pop your hand out. You would know Peroxyl straight away. It's obvious.
No, I don't like.
Do you know you're not meant to use Peroxyl around implants?
Well, you're not meant to use it around implants, but. Because of the titanium, aren't you? It oxidizes the titanium.
Yeah.
But... Okay, am I going for it?
Yep.
Oh, God.
What does it smell like? Smell it first.
Nothing. It smells like nothing.
And this is a clear one, so it is clear. It's completely clear.
Hmm?
That is odd, isn't it?
It tastes like swimming pool.
I know exactly. It tastes like swimming pool. Essentially, it's like swimming pool water. Clean as that. It is essentially what is in a swim. It's phosphoric acid, sodium hypochlorite. It is like drinking bleach.
That's disgusting. Why would you use that?
It's a good antimicrobial, effective but gentle antimicrobial cleansing, hypochlorous technology, no staining. Maintain soft tissue around implants and optimal conditions for natural healing. So you can get this from TRICARE. TRICARE sent this to me.
Oh, no. Sorry, TRICARE.
It's not the best taste. It does taste like you're swimming pool water. Yeah, it's like you're gargling with swimming pool water. It almost, do you find that there's sometimes when something tastes really bad, it almost feels like it must be good for you. Like they can't possibly be trying to sell this to me. It must be so good for me that they're okay that it tastes horrendous. I think that's what they say with medication. If a medication tastes good, people automatically assume it can't be as good for you as the medication that tastes bad.
Calpol tastes great.
Calpol does taste great. I mean, we shouldn't condone people drinking alcohol. Calpol, we are rubbish with our words today. But yeah, this one, I need you to kind of put it in your own mouth. This is a weird one. I saw this.
We need to finish the sentence of this mouth rinse. You need to apply directly into your own mouth.
It's...
What do I do?
Right, so I saw this in Home Bargains. Just like squeeze a bit in your mouth. Obviously, no one else.
Where's the tip?
It's just if you touch it, touch the...
I can't with this. Right.
And then swirl it round. It says, right. It says it's toothpaste and mouthwash in one.
What?
You need a tissue. Here you go.
It just tastes like toothpaste.
Does it? Is it not going like really watery? Is that the whole concept of it? I saw it in Home Bargains. I thought, right, we're just going to go with this. It says it's mouthwash and toothpaste mixed in one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so strong.
You did put a lot in as well. Your teeth are blue.
Oh. Do you know what? I find Colgate toothpaste really spicy.
Spicy?
Yeah, like...
I like that word.
You know when you're little and you have like adult toothpaste and it's really spicy and your eyes are like...
Yeah. I'm not...
Oh my God.
Toothpaste-wise, I am I'm an Oral-B gal. Oral-B all the way. I like a stannous fluoride in a toothpaste. I'm all for stannous fluoride. I've looked at the research on it, and I'm a big fan of stannous fluoride.
Do you know what my favourite toothpaste is?
What?
Oral-B Sensitive Gum Calm.
The gum calm toothpaste, yes. Micro bubbles instead of foam, 100%. It feels...
That is amazing.
It wraps around your teeth, doesn't it?
And it's really good at desensitizing.
Yeah. Whenever someone has sensitive teeth, especially like, you know, if they've got erosion or tooth whitening or anything like that, gum calm.
I love it.
Are you ready? Hands out.
Sniff test.
Oh, this is an obvious one.
Oh, it's my babe. Listerine.
Yeah. Get rid of that taste of the toothpaste one.
Oh, I feel like I got toothpaste all around my mouth.
Your mouth must taste horrendous now.
Oh.
So that's the end of the test. You did good. I think you've got quite a lot of them. Obviously, there's one that you've not had before.
Listerine is my favourite.
Yeah.
It's between the toothpaste or the hideous chlorine water.
As how the worst one. Which is the worst one? Oh, right, okay, yeah.
I think the chlorine water.
It's just so bizarre to have something in your mouth that tastes like you're gargling with bleach, doesn't it?
Maybe if I was warned it was going to taste like that, but it
made it more funny
and
to
it was
know.
going to be like, oh, it's so much better, then maybe I'll keep it. But
we just want to take a second to say thank you to our sponsors who want to show their support to hygienists and therapists by sponsoring this podcast.
So we've been super picky because we only want to work with brands that we endorse, use, recommend, and feel like you could benefit from knowing about. We do want to say a real big thank you to Skrubz, Boutique Whitening, Dr. Hef's Mints, and Oh My Gob.
Details for our sponsors can be found in the show notes.
And if you want to sponsor season 3, then get in touch.
On with the show. Yeah.
Mouthwash. Mm-hmm. Now that we're on the subject.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
What do you say to patients?
So, as I've just mentioned, I'm a stannous fluoride girl. So what I do recognise is you don't wash away sodium fluoride with sodium fluoride. You add to the sodium fluoride. You add to the reservoir, right? So I don't get when people say, I want you to use a sodium fluoride toothpaste, but don't rinse it away with a sodium fluoride mouthwash, because you're not rinsing one away with the other. You're just adding to the fluoride in there. However, I'm a stannous fluoride girl. The sodium's like a carrier, and then the fluoride obviously has the benefit. Yeah. But with stannous fluoride, the stannous has a benefit as a carrier. So the stannous is antibacterial, and it's got a benefit to acid erosion and things like that. And then you've got the fluoride, which has the fluoride benefit. So essentially, you are rinsing away the stannous when you use a mouthwash after stannous fluoride toothpaste. So that's my reason for not liking people to use it immediately after brushing. If I'm being truthfully honest, and I know where you're going to go, because I have seen, it has swayed me a bit with the Listerine, seeing the evidence around it, if I'm honest. But what I don't want people to do is to feel that they can replace something with mouthwash. So I definitely focus very heavily on the mechanical way of removing biofilm and not necessarily on the chemical way, unless I bring it in for a reason. But go on, you tell me yours.
Fair. Well, you probably know, but I've been doing this thing with Listerine for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
There's myself, Prof. Chapel, and Laura.
Yeah.
And we've been going around the country trying to change the message and the mindset, I think, of people. So for a long time, including yourself.
No, you're keeping that on your head.
I forgot about that. I was like,
Carry on.
It feels warm. But we were like that, weren't we, at the hygienist advisory panel? We were like, absolutely not, never going to happen.
Yeah.
And I find it like amazing that I'm doing this now. But long story short, for a long time, everyone's been taught spit, don't rinse at uni, because you don't want to wash away the fluoride in the toothpaste. You don't want to wash away a high percentage of fluoride with a low percentage of fluoride. So therefore, everyone was just like, spit out. The actual research behind spitting and not rinsing, it's spit, not rinse with water.
Right, yeah.
I think with water has been missed off.
It has,
So there was a study, I think there were like 8 to 13-year-olds, and they tried to recreate like the perfect slurry of toothpaste. So they'd have to wet the brush, put the toothpaste on, brush, and then rinse the slurry around where the toothpaste's kind of foamed up around the mouth, and then spit out and don't rinse with water. Mm-hmm. And then obviously BSP guidelines came out, didn't they? Where step 1 and step 4 now is the use of a chemotherapeutic adjunct. the DBOH guidelines have changed, which now state spit don't rinse with water. So we don't have to worry. So long as the patient's not rinsing with water, they're fine. Mm-hmm. But if there's an element of biofilm-induced kind of inflammation, then the chemotherapeutic is going to help. So if you are someone who's just susceptible to perio or has gingivitis, bleeding gums, then we recommend rinsing straight after brushing. Every time on these roadshows, everyone's like, oh my God, what? Rinse straight after brushing? It's so weird. But the idea is that you're not replacing interdental cleaning because the evidence doesn't show that. But you are removing interdental biofilm with like icon brushes, TP brushes, floss, whatever you can. Mm-hmm. Then you go around to your toothbrush and then you rinse with a chemotherapeutic mouth rinse. The idea is that then the biofilm will be thin or thinner. So you've brushed most of it off. The kind of essential oils will blast everything off the tooth. Mm-hmm. And then it takes longer for that biofilm to form. Therefore, it's going to take longer for the disease-producing pathogens to form.
Yeah. Which
is great. The research which was supporting it was a kind of a huge meta-analysis by Elena Figueroa. I don't know if you've heard of her. She used to head the EFP. She's really high up, massive periodontist in Spain. Prof. Preshaw was on the panel. He taught me perio at Newcastle Uni. So like some really influential names. And it had nothing to do with Listerine. It was an unbiased paper published, but they wanted to know like what chemotherapeutic is the best.
Yeah.
And they done the research against baseline. So just kind of brush in, and they wanted to see which one's the best. And Listerine with essential oils came out top, which is why obviously now we're going around, we're spreading the message. We're not saying everyone needs to rinse with a mouthwash after toothbrushing, but for clinicians listening, if you have a patient who struggles with biofilm disruption or is periosusceptible or has gingivitis, then it might be something that you want to add into the routine.
So always still as an adjunct, but it's the essential oils, isn't it? That's the difference. It's
essential oils, yeah. So that's what kind of blasts it. So it's methyl salicylate or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, which is in Listerine, which gives you that like bomb explosion in your mouth. It's apparently the same as wintergreen, which is in DP.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But the whole fluoride kind of, you're washing away the fluoride. So when you brush with a toothpaste, there's salivary reservoirs, and that holds up to 100 parts per million. Okay, so if you rinse with 100 parts per million, like what you've just said, you're going to get like for like, net for net. It's going to be the same.
Yeah.
But if you rinse with 200 parts per million, or with Listerine's got 450 parts per million in, the mouthwash has a different bioavailability, so it binds to kind of your mucosal linings, so that's an additional reservoir which you wouldn't have had before.
Okay.
So it will double the amount of fluoride that you have in.
Okay.
So if you're thinking you've just got it in your saliva from the toothpaste, but you could have it on your mucosal mucous membranes in your mouth, so it's like another huge reservoir with a massive surface area, which we're just missing.
Yeah. And what about the microbiome? Is it affecting the microbiome in any way?
So we get asked this quite a lot. There's no real research to say that it is affecting the microbiome, but what we do know is it will reduce bleeding.
Right.
So it's kind of that risk benefit. Like, is it worth being cautious about something we don't know over being cautious about something we do know?
Yeah.
And obviously you'd go for the kind of keep the bleeding to a minimum.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when we went to that, I was like, definitely, I was swayed a little bit, and then I think again, hearing it again, it is fascinating.
And me and Laura do like little forums. We'll talk through the evidence, and it's more conversational.
Yeah.
And Prof. Chappell usually does like a lecture, but I mean, he's a god.
Yeah.
Like,
he's so
what
good.
he doesn't know about perio.
Yeah.
And I think from like our point of view, like if he believes in it and he's backed the research, then it's true. Yeah. We've read the research, we know it is, but he's so influential. He's amazing.
Yeah, it must be nice to work with him as well. So one of our mouthwashes looked at the purple thing, trying to say it was whitening your teeth. Sorry, but your teeth didn't look whiter afterwards.
No.
So let's talk a little bit quickly about tooth whitening though. Is that something you've done before?
Myself? Yeah, I've done tooth whitening on and off since I was a nurse, since I was 18, so a long time. I was fine when I was younger, but I struggle so much with sensitivity now. Yeah. I can get to like day 3 and I'm like, like agony, like popping the paracetamol. It's that bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you get zingers?
Zingers all the time. Yeah, I feel like I can hear it crackling in my teeth.
It's like an electric shock through your tooth. You're like,
yeah.
I've got this here. So this is Boutique. Obviously, they sponsor the podcast as well, and we are going to do a little bit of a giveaway for. There's a giveaway for their B1 guarantee. So it's the diamond, the black diamond kit, the B1 black diamond kit. So it's this here.
What is the B1 black diamond kit then? Obviously, they get you to B1.
Yes. Yep. So if you've not got to B1 by the time you finish using the kit, they'll give you some more free bleaching syringes to get you there.
Oh, wow.
So that's absolutely fantastic. And so, it's a B1
any
guarantee.
Shade? Yeah. You start from any shade?
So they'll just give you free bleaching until you get to the shade you want to be. Obviously, you've got to be using it properly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a little bit about how you do tooth whitening on your patients. Do you do tooth whitening with your patients?
Yeah. So when I first started, we had Zoom. And then the whole law changed around percentage of Zoom.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And then I didn't find it very good, to be honest. I thought you got like mottling and it looked a little whiter, but for like 2.5 hours or an hour in the surgery or whatever it is, it wasn't worth it. And obviously that's surgery time, so the cost was a lot higher, so the patient's expectations were a lot higher. So we just went back to tray whitening, tried like loads and loads of different brands. Polar, Enlighten, White. Is it White called White Company? Or is that the shop? That's a shop.
That's a shop.
Yeah. There is one like White something.
Yeah.
Tried Boutique. We've tried loads of them, and varied between hydrogen peroxide or carbamide. It very much depends on the patient, their shade. I think if they struggle or they're not a good sleeper, then I usually get them to put hydrogen peroxide in. If they're all right sleeping, I usually get them to try their trays in and say, how do they feel? If they're like, oh, it's okay, then I give them carbamide. I prefer carbamide because I think it's a little bit more stable, less sensitivity with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just do impressions and then send them away with their kit. Yeah. The tray's key.
The tray is key. So the good thing about the boutique trays is that they have the dosing dots and it's a really nice tight fit. I actually went to the lab where they make the trays and saw how they were made, and they spoke to me about how it's a nice tight seal and how they sort of work around the gingival margin to try and prevent any of it leaching out onto the gingival margin. And then you've got the dosing dot, and you don't obviously have to overfill that because it does sort of spread out through the tooth. So yeah, I do like the boutique trays, and I like a ramping technique when I do tooth whitening, and that's what I use on myself because I too get sensitivity. So what I tend to do is I get them to start on 10%.
Yeah.
And I'll get them to do 10% for like a week. And then in the second week, then they ramp up to the 16%. So they've kind of like bedded themselves in and then sort of go up to the 16%. Because 16% for 2 weeks on a sensitive patient is just
hell.
Yeah. And they're probably not going to reach that.
You do it for a month?
I usually say 2 weeks and then review after 2 weeks. But you can obviously go for a little bit longer. Some people do need to go a little bit longer. It depends on their starting shade. So obviously certain shades are going to take longer to get there. So yeah, it all depends on the starting shade, but yeah, up to.
And that ramping technique, is that something that Boutique provides, or do you like mix and match the trays?
So you can mix and match the bleaches, yeah. So for example, when I put the order in, it's they'll say, do you want all 15? Do you want all 16%, all 10%? Do you want 6%? And I'll say like, oh, can I get 2 10%, 2 16%? Or if I'm doing a top up or something, I'll be like, oh, can I get some 10% and 6%? And then because I quite like top ups with the 6% because like you do a treatment. So for example, I get a patient in, do my treatment, and then they can put their trays in immediately and after
get
that.
Really good results.
Really good results. Yeah, because you've kind of, especially because I use Optrogate as well. So I do my treatment, everything's nice and dry, and then I can put that tray in with the 6%, and then they keep it in for 90 minutes, and it does look really, really good afterwards.
Especially after like full GBT.
So remove everything from the tooth surface, get rid of any staining, get rid of anything that's sort of residing on there, and then straight on with that bleach. And it's really good for top ups. I like that.
Yeah, good idea.
So yeah, and we mentioned earlier about the Gum Calm toothpaste. That's a really good toothpaste for during tooth whitening as well. So I'm going to give you some.
I've got another thing though.
Oh, go on.
And this, this podcast is not sponsored by Listerine at all. Obviously, I just feel very passionate about it, which we've talked about in another podcast. But this was completely by fluke. So do you know the Listerine sensitive mouth rinse?
No,
Have you seen it?
I've not seen it.
It's like the part of the advanced range. It's in like a clouded bowl.
Oh, yes.
Friggin' incredible.
What, for sensitivity?
For post-op whitening sensitivity.
Is it?
It's amazing.
So what's in it
I was
then?
in agony.
Yeah.
And I tried rubbing the toothpastes in. I tried...
Did you wear the toothpaste and then put the trays back in? You've tried that?
I literally tried everything. What's the cream stuff called again?
The cream stuff?
That we used to put on after GBT?
Toothmousse.
Toothmousse?
Yeah,
Tried
toothmousse.
toothmousse?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Really? Okay.
Tried that mouthwash. Incredible.
Yeah.
Literally went after like a minute.
Okay, I'm going to give that a go. I'm going to give that a go as well. Because I do quite like toothmousse, for sensitivity.
Yeah. And usually I do but like a Biomin leading up to it.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I love Biomin too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that toothpaste was that mouthwash was the only thing that was working.
Interesting. Okay, that's good. Another thing you could do is pop a little bit of the Floor Protector S onto any recession areas that you think are going to be potential.
Recession.
Yeah. So when you've gone around and done the treatment, a little bit of Floor Protector S, and then they start, and that will just help to alleviate a little bit of sensitivity in those areas. And it's clear as well, so you're not going in there with like gloopy mess.
Sure, fact.
Yeah. So with the giveaway then, what do you think they need to do in order to get the giveaway? Obviously, they need to like, share, comment.
Yes.
And like, share, comment, boutique as well.
Yeah.
So you obviously...
What do I want them to comment?
Give me that whitening. Give me B1. I want B1.
Yeah, I want B1.
I want B1.
I want B1 on both Boutique and Your Dental Besties.
Yep. And they have to comment underneath the podcast and underneath, we're making them do a lot here. Okay, so you've got to comment underneath the YouTube or the podcast.
Yeah.
And then on the Instagrams, so Boutique and on Your Dental Besties, but you also have to be following as well. So we obviously want a little follow as well. Cheeky little.
So we're on, sorry, just to confirm.
Can you tell we have literally just thought this up at the time of doing this?
We want them to comment, I want B1 on Boutique.
Yep.
I want B1 on Your Dental Besties.
Yep.
And I want B1 on either Spotify podcast page or the YouTube channel. And obviously you have to show your love for us by liking and everything.
Yeah, just like everything. And show us you love us. The more we see you, and then we'll pick it by random.
So Claire basically wants you to beg.
Yeah, beg for your B1. I want B1, please. And yeah, we'll pick it by random though. So it will be random, but you have to have done all of the above. I think.
Set the bar high.
It is actually. We're setting ourselves up there a little bit for people to be like, that's too much hard work. But it's worth it. It's worth it, everyone. It's worth it. B1. Obviously, it's a prescription, so we'll have to follow the right channels in order for people to get that, and that will be done properly. Because in surgery, how do we get around that? How do you get around that in surgery in terms of doing your tooth whitening on your patients? Does the dentist do the exam, send them through to you?
Dentist does exam, sends them through with the prescription for what whitening.
Yep. And doing it from there. Yeah. Same.
Usually if I need to change it, if they're like, 6% hydrogen peroxide, I'm like, can we have carbamide instead?
Yeah.
So there's like a conversation that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it has to be prescription.
Yes.
Which is madness, but unless I was a beauty therapist, because then I could do it without a prescription.
I know. And that's another podcast because there are so many people out there doing it illegally. And we have, in case you're non-dental listening to this, only dental professionals can do your tooth whitening legally. So a dentist, a dental hygienist, or a dental therapist. So unfortunately, you do have to see us if you want whiter teeth. Because it's all gimmicks. Everything else is gimmicks. Just like that mouthwash I made Ben use at the beginning of the show.
Well, so we used to have a receptionist that worked for us. And she was like, I got this thing from a beauty boutique. She used to be a beautician. And it was like a beauty trade show. And she was like, it's just this thing. I just paint it on my teeth and they go white. And it's really working. It's doing really good. So I was like, let me see what's in it. It was literally just acid. It was like nail varnish, gluey, and you paint it on your teeth and it was just acid that was just stripping the teeth.
My God. Yeah. Oh my God. I see so many things on social media, and the good thing about social media is that you can get a message out there when you're a professional or an expert in something, but the bad thing is there's so many experts that are not experts, and the amount of things I see on social media where it's like, if you want whiter teeth, just get lemon and vinegar and salt and rub it on your teeth. And I'm like, oh my God, but people out there will be listening to that absolute garbage.
I had a patient who made their own toothpaste from lemon and ground eggshell. Can you imagine?
No way.
Like, oh God. Seeing it all.
That is so bad. That is so bad. Okay, well, I'm going to give you something quickly because you're going to vlog this, aren't you? So here you go. Oh, there you go. It's your own little whitening kit. And I want you to vlog your own whitening journey.
Right, I'll vlog it, but I'm telling you now, there might be tears.
Because you're sensitive.
I'm so
such a sensitive soul. I'm going to do my whitening journey as well. I'm going to vlog it. We're going to have a competition at the end to see who ended up with whiter teeth.
It's going to be you. So your teeth are already like...
I'm already B1.
B minus 1,000. Like better than B0.
But vlog it though, because I want to see... And I'm going to try the Listerine sensitive mouthwash thing.
Honestly, try it. It's amazing.
See if it gets rid of my zingers. Because I get the zingers too.
It will. It will.
I'm excited about that. So... if you've enjoyed this episode, please you're going to like, share, comment, and everything. You're going to have to. If you want the B1 guarantee, this is waiting for you. This is waiting for you. So like, comment, share, subscribe.
Back somersault, cartwheel, jump through flying
buy me
boots.
something nice. And yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about because it gives us content and we can have fun with it. So yeah, we always like to hear from you. But we shall see you soon.
Until next time, bye.